Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name's Alex and you are watching BC Adventure. The other day when I was doing the Windows 11 tutorial, I started thinking to myself how much I missed using Windows XP. It's a nostalgic operating system for me and one that I really miss using because of its simplicity and its extremely fast boot time, its versatility to be run on most any hardware, and it was a big part of my childhood growing up. Now, I was a teenager when Windows XP came out, and it's still being used to this day in point of sale systems, the old touchscreen point of sale systems out there, and it's a rock solid operating system, albeit not secure anymore. It got me thinking how much I missed it, and I'm a nostalgic person, and I enjoy the older things in life as I get older. Another reason is I do have about a dozen older Motorola barcode scanners that have the built-in two-way communication functionality. And I bought about a dozen of them about 5 or 6 years ago off of eBay for like 50 bucks Canadian. And it got me thinking that, well, I need Windows XP in order to sideload software onto those things. So I do have somewhat of a decent use case for a virtual machine. So I figured why not deploy one and walk you guys through the steps on how to do that, because it's not the same as deploying a Windows 10, Windows Server, or anything like that, those types of operating systems on Unraid. So today that's what we're going to do, and I get to fulfill some nostalgic vibes for myself at the same time. And I'm sure there's a few other people out there who would enjoy doing the same. Windows XP was an amazing operating system in my opinion. Now, I'm sure there's people out there that, didn't like it, but I thought, it's a neat way to dive into the past. Windows XP came with MSN Messenger, which we obviously can't use today, but it's just I'm feeling nostalgic. It's Sunday morning, 10:50, and I thought, why not make a video about it? Because I'm sure there's someone out there who might get some use out of it. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tutorial. All right, so to get started, you're going to have to head over to the Internet Archive and you're going to have to search for Windows XP ISO. Now, the way I did this is I just went to Google and I searched Windows XP Service Pack 3 ISO, and then I found this guy right here, which is the second down. And if you go to this site, there's a ton of ISO images that you can pick from. And while Service Pack 3 doesn't officially exist, there are users out there who have compiled a installation ISO that does have all three service packs built in, or four if you count the original. Now, I went ahead and I downloaded the one that I wanted, which did include Service Pack 3. And from there, we need to obviously get it into our ISOs folder. And then we're going to head on over to our virtual machines tab. And I will leave a link in the description for the Internet Archive website that has all the ISO files for Windows XP. Surprisingly, a lot of us do have a serial number still kicking around somewhere. I know I took pictures of all my serial numbers, or I wrote them down, and I have a notepad that has all my serial numbers for all my Windows devices that I've owned. So in my case, I'm using a valid Windows XP serial number. You do what you got to do, though, no judgment. So to get started with deploying a Windows XP machine, we're going to head on over to our VMs tab, and we're going to add a virtual machine. Now, Unraid still has Windows XP as an option here. I don't know how long that's going to last as time progresses, but fortunately for us right now, they do still have it. So I'm going to select the Windows XP template, and I'm just going to name this BC Advent, Windows XP BC Advent for this machine. I'm going to just give it 4 cores and 4 threads. And I'm going to give it 16 gigs of RAM. I'm going to leave the C BIOS. That's it can't use UEFI or anything like that. And then for the operating system, I'm going to select my Windows XP Service Pack 3. And then for my VirtIO drivers, I'm actually going to use the older version that I have, 1.240. And then for the primary disk, I'm going to leave that on auto, and I'm going to bump this up to 64 gigs. And then this is really important in order for Windows XP to recognize your machine or your hard disk. You need to change the primary vDisk bus to IDE or SATA. So I'm going to go with IDE because I know for a fact that Windows XP supports IDE drives. And for our network, now some people have had success with putting the E1000 network model, but I personally did not. So I'm going to leave mine on VirtIO Net because we have the VirtIO drivers. Now, that's all we need to do to get this virtual machine spun up. So just to summarize, we're not going to give it more than 4 cores and 4 threads. We're going to give it 16 gigs of RAM. Now, you can do it with 4 or 8, but I've had the best success with 16 gigs. For your machine, you want to make sure that you're leaving it on i440FX. The version doesn't matter, just as long as it's on i440FX. We're going to make sure that our OS install is IDE. We're going to make sure that our VirtIO CD-ROM bus is IDE, and we're going to make sure our primary vDisk bus is IDE. Now from there, we can scroll down and we can click create, and it's going to start booting up. Now, this is probably a screen that you have not seen in quite a few years, or maybe not have seen at all, depending on your age. This could be way past your era. But this is very nostalgic. It reminds me of installing Windows 3.1, Windows 95, Windows 98, and of course, Windows XP. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to me. So from here, we're going to set it up on the 64 gig partition here. And we're going to use the format the partition using the NTFS file system quick. And here it's going to start setting up Windows or formatting the drive and then setting it up for the operating system. All right, so that literally took about a minute. It's really that fast. And now it's restarting. And from here, it's going to jump into the actual installation process of Windows XP. Now, for some of you, it's going to be very Windows 98 reminiscent here. Again, I haven't seen this screen in years, but Windows XP had a tendency to lie about its setup completion. Says 39 minutes. It's probably closer to about 5 to 10 minutes. Now, depending on your older hardware back in the day, this might have been kind of accurate, but from my memory, it always took about 25 minutes to get fully booted into Windows after starting the installation process, right from the first boot. So we're going to let this finish through, and yeah, I'm going to leave it on screen here for you, and we'll jump back into it as soon as this is done. So I forgot to have my mic on there, but as you saw, it prompted us for a name and organization. You know, you don't have to fill out the organization. And then it asked us for an administrator password, which, you know, is not really required anymore in newer operating systems. And then from there, it continues on the installation. All right, we've got our first boot happening now, and it is fairly quick. Oh, I miss this operating system. Look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Oh, the opener. I wish the sound worked right off the bat. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish the setup here. Even though it doesn't work, we're going to set it to automatically update. If you're wondering why it doesn't work, it's because Microsoft shut down the update servers for Windows XP. So I'm just going to put in my name here, click on next, and finish. And we are now booting into Windows XP circa 2001. Or 2000. What? Actually, yeah, let's look that up. What is the official release date? October 25th, 2001. Now, this has got to bring back some memories for people. Oh, I miss this. Yeah, it's definitely at risk. We're not gonna we're not gonna doubt that. Now let's go to my computer and let's check the properties. All right, so we can see we've got 60 gigs, 3 gigs used. Now, to connect to the internet, we're going to have to install the drivers for the network adapter. It's going to switch to classic view. We're going to go over to system here and hardware, and we're going to open up device manager. And we see here the Ethernet controller, PCI device, simple communications controller, and video controller do not have drivers. So to get them updated, we're going to right click and go to update drivers. We're going to click no, we don't want to connect to the internet. We're going to install from a specific list or location, and we're going to uncheck search removable media. Actually, you know what? We'll just leave that. See what happens. All right, hopefully it finds something. Okay, we'll go back and we will point it to drive E. So we're just going to switch this to E and let that search. Oh, E does not exist. All right. Okay, let's point it to, where are we here? Need the, there we go, net KVM. And Windows, we'll let it, where are we? XP. All right, it doesn't appear to like that, so we're just going to back this up, and does not contain any files. Okay, we'll just let it do that. So we're just going to let it search. There we go. All right, so we want to make sure that we are using the XP version. Okay, so it doesn't like the 64-bit, it likes the x86. Okay. All right, good to know for the future. Gonna go ahead and click next. All right, finish. And we see it is connected now. Now, let's minimize this, close out of that, close out of that. Oh, there's Windows Messenger. Oh, look at that. Oh, how I miss Windows Messenger. Oh, Okay, enough of that. Let's head up to Internet Explorer here. Now, as you may know, the internet protocols have updated over the last 24 years, of course. So we're not able to see the default page, but if we go to google.ca, it does work. So we are able to search. So if I put in Mozilla Firefox, it'll actually present the search, but if I want to download it, it's not going to work. We get this DNS issue, and that's because the internet's using secure DNS now. So unfortunately, we can't use the default Internet Explorer baked into Windows XP. You are going to have to you're going to have to you're going to have to either put Firefox or Opera on a USB drive and then pass that USB drive through to Windows XP. And if you're going to do that, make sure you're formatting the USB drive into FAT32 or NTFS. But or if you like, you can be fancy and you can make an ISO that contains all the software you want for Windows XP, and then attach it as the VirtIO driver ISO within Unraid, and then that'll present as a CD drive or a CD in my computer here, like you have here. So I just did this for me. I thought a few of you would like to see Windows XP back in action again. Maybe some of you have some older hardware that you are running Windows XP on. And if that's the case, let me know down in the comments below, or, you know, if you just loved the little bit of nostalgia. Let me know if you do have Windows XP running in a virtual machine. Let me know if you have some older hardware running Windows XP. I want to hear all those nostalgic stories down below. Also, December 3rd to 8th, I'm going to be down in Anaheim, California for work. So if any of you are in the Anaheim area, I was thinking maybe we could meet up or something. I really want to go down to the Anaheim market to get some good Mexican food. So I was thinking, you know, maybe a few of us could meet up if you're in the Anaheim area. If that's the case, jump into the Discord and let me know. And maybe we can arrange something to meet up, have a drink, you know, maybe go for some food at the Anaheim market. And yeah, it'd be really nice to connect up with some of the community that you know, subscribes to the channel. You know, it's not just about me, it's about you guys as well. I do this for the community, and it would be pretty awesome to get to meet some of you guys. So yeah, if you guys are going to be either in the Anaheim area or live in the Anaheim area from December 3rd to 8th, 2025, drop a comment or jump over to the Discord server, which you can find linked on my YouTube main page. And let's go for some food. I think it would be a really cool opportunity to connect with the community that I've been building over the last year and a bit. And yeah, it'd be really cool to just meet some of you guys. So with all that said and done, I'm going to end the video here, or leave it here. And as soon as I think of some other things that we can do with Windows XP, I'll do a second video. And if you want to see me do anything with Windows XP, let me know down in the comments. Yeah, but with all that said and done, I'm going to end the video here. Take it easy, guys. I hope you're enjoying your summer, and I will catch you in the next one.